Well, here it is, the trade update. We all knew that this was going to come, but I guess now we have to dive into the nitty-gritty details. Because the Vancouver Canucks are in a spot where they have placed a big emphasis on acquiring center help. They need another second-line center. If you assume Elias Pettersson is a number one, which I can totally understand if folks are going to go out there and kind of question if that's the case. Yeah, I understand that. But if you assume PD is number one, and you assume Filip Chytil may not necessarily be ready to be a full-time number two, there is the opportunity for a number two to be brought in. It's basic economics, we all know this about the Canucks. Filip Chytil, I will say this, a final word on him, because I know a lot of folks would ask if he is ready to be in that spot. It was spoken about by the Canucks at the end of the season that Filip Chytil, on top of having the concussion symptoms, also had a viral infection, which made the concussion symptoms look a lot worse than they were. And it's why he actually was skating and practicing at the end of the season. He didn't play in the final games of the season, but he was an active participant in practice, and that should not be ignored. If Filip Chytil is fully able to recover that quickly to get back into practice, then imagine what the entire summer's worth of off-season training is going to do in helping this guy get back up to tip-top game shape, to a place where he can continue dictating the pace of the game with his speed and contributing on the rush. This is a guy who has a chance to make more out of this opportunity, but we can't go out there and fully assume that's going to happen just because the injury history has been concerning and he is very concussion-prone. If anything, I honestly feel like Filip Chytil can be a winger, but we'll have that conversation another day. With this in mind, though, let's head over to an article published on dailyhive.com by Noah Strang earlier on Friday. It talks about how the Vancouver Canucks are open to trading their first-round pick this summer. Now again, is that surprising? Absolutely not. We all roughly expected this to be a possibility for the Vancouver Canucks as a hockey team heading into the 2025 NHL Draft. This article goes out there and talks about how a disappointing 24-25 season has left a bad taste in many people's mouths. Head coach Rick Tocchet has left the team, and the countdown until Quinn Hughes hits free agency has begun. The Canucks need to get their team back on track. They need to show a path to contention, both to convince Hughes to stay long-term and to encourage the fan base. The problem is, the Vancouver Canucks don't have any assets they can use to improve their roster. Many assets, they have some, not none. They only have two blue-chip prospects, Tom Willander and Jonathan Lekkerimaki, and not much surplus talent they can dangle. Beyond that, it's just draft picks, and thus, they might need to deal their first-round pick this year, which will likely be 11th overall. Ah, man. Gone are the days that the Vancouver Canucks are in the playoffs. Not that those days lasted too long, but they were just kind of there. Now, a quick correction here on what's written on the article. The article says that the Canucks have likely the 11th overall pick this year. I don't know where Noah Strang is getting that from. Tankathon.com has Vancouver at the 15th overall spot. Right now, 11th is with the New York Rangers, which is a projected top 13 overall pick. It remains to be seen what's going to happen here. But Vancouver, 15th overall, seems like it could be a likely outcome here. Tankathon.com has Vancouver's odds of moving up at 0.5%, so we're just going to assume that that's going to stick. This coming year is critical, so we'll keep an open mind as to what it takes to improve our team, said President of Hockey Operations Jim Rutherford on the 100% Hockey podcast. We'll consider moving our first pick if it's for a player that's going to make a difference on our team. Yup, that's not surprising in the slightest. The article here then talks about how the Vancouver Canucks didn't pick in the first two rounds last year, and they didn't make a first-round pick in 2021 either. Their prospect pool is weak as a result, and trading yet another first-round pick would only make the issue worse. However, with Hughes having just 2 years left and the organization wanting to contend, dealing that pick would most likely make the team better next season. The number one thing is to add a number one or a number two center, then after that things can get sorted out, Jim Rutherford said. Well, I'll say this right here, the Vancouver Canucks are probably not getting themselves a number one center by trading away the 15th overall pick. They would have to add at least one of their top prospects, a Willander or a Lekkerimaki. And ultimately, if you prioritize building that center core so much that you're willing to shell out some assets like Lekkerimaki or Willander may be more likely, honestly, but if you're willing to shell out those assets, then it really does go to show the perspective and the mindset that this management has. They want to go all in right now. They had two other bona fide top six centers over the past few years in Bo Horvat and JT Miller, and now they're both gone. At this point, they're trying to do it so that Quinn Hughes decides to stick around long term, and they also want to build up some fanfare at the same time. This team went from having three bona fide top six centers to arguably none if you think of Elias Pettersson as not playing to that capacity this previous year. Sure, the defense improved. It's kind of funny, for all the past few years we have seen, it's always been the defense that was the problem. Oh yeah, Tyler Myers stinks. Oh yeah, Lucas Spiza stinks. Oh yeah, Eric Goodbranson stinks. Oh yeah, Ben Hutton towards the end of his Canucks tenure, he stunk. A lot of guys rotating around the Vancouver D-core and a reasonably good level of forward support on the team. Brock Besser, JT Miller, Bo Horvat, Elias Pettersson, Ronald Kennens at one point. Okay, that's maybe a little bit too far back, but now the issue has flipped in over its head. Long gone are the days where there are three bona fide top six centers. Now the defense is good. Quinn Hughes, Phil Hronek, Elias Pettersson, Marcus Pettersson, Tyler Myers, even for an extent, and Victor Mancini. That's a strong D-core. And if you add Tom Willander, it looks even better. But now it's they need to get more forward support. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the Vancouver Canucks going out there and making a trade for another top center. Do you think it's possible with just the 15th overall pick that they have in the 2025 NHL Draft? Do you think they would have to add on some more, and how much more do you think they add? If it is a trade with a Tom Willander or a first-round pick or whatever, who do you think is going to be the guy Vancouver is able to get? There are some younger centers that are available, but are they necessarily of the caliber that Vancouver is looking for? Some of these guys might not even be trade candidates. Maybe they're offer sheet candidates. What are your thoughts on Quinton Byfield of the LA Kings or Mason McTavish in Anaheim? What are your thoughts on Matthew Barzal or even Bo Horvat? I would love Horvat back. That's just me, but yeah. Get him back in this room. Show Quinn Hughes that Vancouver is still a fun place to be, and get Elias Pettersson going back once again, but maybe that is a touch delusional. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the Vancouver Canucks and them trading their first-round pick, trading Tom Willander or Lekkerimaki, and whether or not you think it's going to net themselves a player that's actually worth it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.